Hey yo, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hope you all having a great day. I myself having a good day. It's the start of my weekend, and today's my Saturday. So I'm here doing a continuing the book listening session of listening to the story and commentary. I'm gonna see, it depends on how many people come in. If not, then I'm just gonna keep it short, sweet, probably 2 hours the max, and that's it, quarter of the day. All right, let's start into it, and I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into this story. If you replay a game, make sure you hit that like button. Just please like the button, like the videos. I'm seeing some watches, but I'm not getting likes. So just get the likes up so people can follow me in the algorithm, go on YouTube so they can know it's me. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Mizzle. You are the Mizzy's family, and let's just have fun. All right, and then just listen to the story. And we will continue on. This book is almost over. So I think if it's not this one, if it doesn't end in this one, the next one for sure will be the last week. So it'll be all 8 weeks will be up if it doesn't finish in this one, because the story is almost over. All right. Let's start.
"26. Stevie." No stone was left unturned when it came to Jeffy. She had everything planned down to what kind of underwear that I would wear with my dress. I told her that I wanted something simple, sexy, and not over the top. This was a courthouse wedding, and I didn't want to have to pick up a train to walk into City Hall. When people had courthouse weddings, they made promises to have a bigger one down the line. I didn't want one and didn't need one. All I needed was this one, and knowing that Maverick felt the same as I did meant the world to me. I've always had to pretend to be something else when it came to dating. Never able to be the real me because that would turn a man off. I don't know how many dates I've been on that I have heard I was different or weird. Men only saw my body, my ass mostly, and decided I wasn't worth getting to know. They didn't care what I liked to do, or the fact that I had a brain too. Every conversation always led back to them wanting to go back to their place or wanting to chill. Menace noticed things, and then he went the extra step to show me that he saw me. Buying me every Lego set because he heard that I liked Legos, or going to find my high school ex-boyfriend and beating his ass and making him apologize on camera. Those were signs that he saw who I was. When I spoke, he heard me. "You look so beautiful, Stevie." Jeffy came into the room where I was getting my makeup done and sat on the stool. Cindy straightened my hair and pulled it up in a messy updo with a side bang that swept down the side of my face. The makeup artist finished my makeup, keeping my makeup as natural as could be. I told her that I didn't want my freckles to be covered. Maverick always counted them whenever I woke up and he was staring in my face. The first time that I opened my eyes and he was staring at me, I nearly fell out the bed because he scared me. As handsome as he was, the man had a menacing look to him. "Thank you for everything, Jeffy. You pulled all this together in the shortest time, and me and Maverick both appreciate you. It's going to feel different having someone actually say thank you because your big-headed ass man never says it," she joked. The makeup artist put the finishing touches on my lips, and then went to clean up her mess. Jeffy was on her phone, and I turned to face her. Jeffy? What's up? She put her phone down and looked at me concerned. Are you having second thoughts? If you are, we can run out of here together. I smiled. I'm running out of here to that man. Plus, I think he would track me down and bring me back kicking and screaming. As much as you are joking, that man will always find you. Good. I smiled. She touched my hand. What's going on? Maverick told me about he and your mother. I could see the anger in her eyes when I mentioned her mother. That is not who I am, Stevie. It was my turn to hold her hand. I'm not saying that is who you are, and I can tell the subject is very sensitive to you. I don't agree with what my mother has done, and Maverick has shut down any conversation surrounding it because he doesn't want to deal with it. I pray he opens up and does therapy, but I cannot force him. My mother broke his heart, and I had never seen him that way. I picked up the pieces she left broken on the floor while she went to live her life. I chose the Casellis over my own family because they are my family. They were tossed to the side and handed crumbs, and look at all of them. Fucking powerful. She reached out and pinched my cheek. And you will rise to that same occasion, becoming Mrs. Caselli, the love that this family needed. I smiled at her. I just wanted you to know that I know. You are now his secret keeper, his soulmate. She smiled as we both looked toward the door. Estella rushed into the room with her floral dress on and little kitten heels. Her hair was pulled up into a bun with a floral headband. She rushed to Jeffy and hugged her, while Jeffy picked her up and smothered her in kisses. Jeff Bezos. Hey, my darling, do you know how beautiful you look? She reached into her pocket and pulled out a credit card. Cor got me this. Jeffy started laughing. Not he used Stelly to get you to take the damn credit card. The man is smart and fine. Got to give it to him. So damn fine, Skylar admitted as she stood there. Skylar looked stunning in her oversized wide-leg pantsuit with a pair of pumps. Wait until you see what else he does. Gonna have you climbing the wall, Jeffy snickered. You want me to get laid so bad. And do. You can be crabby, and we know that's the reason. Jeffy kissed Estella as she further examined the credit card. Stevie, I don't even want to look at you because I know I am going to cry. It's why I have been ignoring you. Aw, Sky, do you want a hug? Please? I held my dress as I walked over and she hugged me, towering over me because she had heels on and I hadn't put mine on yet. Thank you for allowing me to make this decision, supporting me and not trying to talk me out of it. Do you know how hard it was to not yank you out that man's house? Menace is a nut job, and knowing that you have tamed him, and he's different with you. He cares about you, and that is all I could want for you. I kissed her cheek and looked at my baby cousin. I love you, and we're always going to be a family, Skylar. Now we have even more people that care about us, okay? I want a baby sister, Estella blurted. Skylar smiled at her daughter. Jeffy is going to give you one, okay? So you can have a baby sister. Jeffy busted out in tears, and Stella was concerned as she wiped her face. We both crowded over toward her and hugged her. I am so sorry. Just hearing you say that made it so real to me. Skylar, we're a family. No matter what we go through, it's us four in this together, and Corleone has told us that. This doesn't work without you. I know, she admitted. And you will have a baby cousin too, I announced, and both Jeffy and Skylar gasped loudly, becoming excited. Menace is going to be a father? Oh no, I'm just saying, you know, the future.
Girl, stop announcing that you pregnant and you're not pregnant yet. At least alluded to. Girl, you getting everybody all excited and stuff. Seriously, she did that last time. Talk about being a baby and being pregnant. Y'all gonna be aunties, and they were so excited and realized that no, it's future. Girl, stop.
Skylar shoved me and went toward the door. Stevie, read the room. I laughed. What? I have one person that I think should witness you getting married today. She opened the door and Alex stepped in, with a suit on, with his head wrap matching the black suit. Alex, I gasped. Stevie, telling me last minute when you know the afternoon rush is crazy? Even with all of that, I would never miss this. Although I have a bunch of questions and want answers soon. I rushed into his arms, and he held me and pulled me back to look at me. You are the most beautiful bride I have ever seen. Your mama would be so proud, and I know she's watching over you. You think so? He caught my tears and peered down into my eyes with this look of pride on his face. I know so. I also know she would never let me hear the end of it if I didn't see her baby girl get married today. I sniffled. I will be waiting for you there. Skylar called me and told me that you may have needed to see me before the ceremony. She was right. He pinched my cheeks. My beauty. The makeup artist touched up my makeup while Alex left, and I sat back down. My emotions were all over the place, and I couldn't contain them. I'm so sorry. The tears won't stop coming. Girl, you are getting married. The tears are normal, and your future husband has paid for me to be with you all day. The makeup artist smiled. When my phone started ringing, I looked down and saw Maverick's name. I picked it up and held it to my ear. Hey, Mavi. What up, Wonder? Nothing. I'm getting my makeup done. He chuckled. Will I be able to count your freckles? Yes. I was calling to make sure you still wanted to kick it with me for forever. The makeup artist quickly grabbed a Q-tip and held it in my waterline as I held the phone. I wouldn't have it no other way. Do you still want a life of paint in the bed? Not crazy about it, but I'm crazy about you, so fuck it. Okay. Okay, baby. See you soon. See you soon, Mitchell. I smiled and ended the call, while the makeup artist continued to work hard to stop the tears. Hey, Mrs. Caselli. I turned and saw both Zoya and Cora come into the room, and I smiled while taking in their outfits. Zoya was having a monochromatic moment, with her beige high-waisted pants and her dress shirt tucked in. She wore a pair of Celine sunglasses and paired it with a Chanel bag that matched perfectly with her outfit. While Cora wore an olive green off-the-shoulder dropped-waist dress with her Birkin on her arm. Both of them wore their hair straightened as they took me in. You both look like money. Baby, we are the money. You are too. Cora kissed my cheek and sat down where Jeffy had been sitting previously. I remember the real reason you didn't want a full wedding, and I respect that. Some traditions you want to have with your mother, I feel the same. You love our brother, and that is all I have ever wanted for him. I want Maverick to be loved, and for someone to take care of him. He has taken care of us all these years, that he deserves the same back. While we aren't your mother, we wanted to stick to tradition by doing something new, blue, and borrowed. I smiled at both of them. Really? Skylar came back into the room. I'm giving you something borrowed. This is my mom's favorite gold hair clip. She wore it the day she had me. It means so much to me, and I want you to wear it today. She kissed my cheek and put the clip into my hair, and it fit perfectly. Thank you, Sky. Never mention it. Family, forever. Even after that. Zoya left the room while Cora stood up. We all have a CH pin. Every immediate Caselli has this specialized pin. There are 2 versions of this pin, and this one only the Casellis and immediate family wears. She produced a gold pin with CH on it, the same one that Maverick wore on his suits. I don't wear mine for obvious reasons, but it is always pinned on the inside of my robe when I'm behind that bench. As for something blue, well, the Casellis don't really do blue, but we do black and gold. Zoya came back into the room with an orange Hermes box. Bitch, a Hermes bag? Skylar hollered. Zoya held the box while Cora carefully pulled the bag out of the box. She pulled the most beautiful black crocodile Birkin bag with gold hardware. Your husband put in a few calls and had this overnighted from Europe because he said his boo, his words, needed something blue. I had made plans to tell Maverick to pay the makeup artist double because the girl was working today. God, we're dysfunctional as fuck, but I ride for my brothers and sister no matter what. Me and Menace may not see eye to eye, but he knows I work hard to protect him. Can't stand him, but will protect him with my life. We stick together, and now that you are joining the family, we will protect you too. Cora looked over at Skylar. That includes both the future Brewsters too. Guys, thank you for this. I've never had many friends, and it's always been just Skylar. Marrying your brother means I get sisters, and that makes me excited. More than marrying him, right? 'Cause you can tell me, Zoya said, and we all laughed together. Let's get you married. Seems like all I'd be doing is attending weddings. None of them are mine. When Big G come home? Fuck you mean? He coming for those chocolate babies, Ms. Lawyer, Skylar snorted. Apparently, this was an inside joke with them. Let's get you married. Stevie, I live my life in the shadows because I have to. I don't even go by Caselli. I go by Case, and I'm never seen with Menace. As much as I want to be in pictures, I cannot under any circumstances be in any, and I have to keep my distance. So, if you see me in the back with this mask on, know there's a reason, and don't be offended. I would never miss this day for the world. I'm just glad that you are here, Kay. We embraced, and the makeup artist went to finish my makeup.
27. Menace. Marriage. I sat in the living room with my legs crossed in my suit, enjoying my own cup of scotch. Lupita had poured some into my favorite insulated cup before I left the house. Dressed in a black Armani suit with my pins on my lapel. In addition to the CH pin, I had my jeweler make me one that said, Wonder. When I smiled at the pin, I scared the shit out of him, because I was never chummy when I get to jewelry. This pin was special because it was my bait. I would wear it every time I clipped that CH pin on. Today I was getting married, and usually I would be in here pacing and looking around to find shit to count. I was calm knowing that I had met my forever when it came to Stevie. She was beautiful, smart, and she was unique. As someone who looked forward to having the same day every day, I never got the same woman every day. Some mornings she was loud and full of energy, and then some mornings her ass had an attitude. It was usually because she was hungry, or she wanted some dick. I had her throwing fits when she didn't get any. Just sitting here thinking about seeing her in a few had me excited. I took a sip of my scotch and listened to the door open. My men got all the shit together and got me a wedding gift, one that they knew I would love, and I was grateful for them. After having to pay for 2 funerals for 2 people that were important to Case House, I needed something that would make me smile, aside from marrying the love of my life. I made it. Thank you for allowing me to stay at your property. I'm tired of running. Ray claimed that he's going to fix this, and I don't think he will. I heard that familiar trader voice coming from the foyer. All right, girl. Talk to you after I take a bath. Uh-huh. Love you. I sipped my scotch, used to the burning sensation that went down your throat when you sipped it through a straw. Straight. She was so into texting whoever that she walked right past the darkened living room that I was sitting in. Duke was with my baby today, so I had Beans with me. Beans was hidden to the side waiting for me to give the word. I abandoned the doorway and went up the steps to see what the fuck was going on. Soon as I rounded the corner and saw Don standing over Jasper as he was fake acting like he didn't know how to log into a computer his sick ass had logged into plenty of times. Put that fucking password in before I lose my shit. Don't have much patience these days. Not when sick bitches like you rape my girls. The woman in the corner, Tasha, was standing there unsure of what to do or say. She was irrelevant in this moment. Easily disposable if she tried to jump big and be the hero in this room tonight. Once he was in, Don shoved him and went to work getting all the files and everything that he needed. I have a crooked agent on my team. I can give you all this information. I have so much information on him that it will bury him. Even that governor. He tried to butter me up with information I already know. Fuquan was a mutual that I did business with from time to time, and I didn't need information on him when I knew shit about both him and the governor. Me and the governor had mutual respect, and even though I never needed to call him a favor, I knew the option to do so was there. Yeah? He grew excited, thinking this was going to get him out of the trouble that he was currently in. There wasn't shit he could do or give me that would have me excuse him raping one of my girls. Then he had the nerve to rape her and record it like the shit was something to be proud of. Got the file, Don said, as I watched him do his techie shit and remove the files from the computer. He went in and wiped everything that this bitch had on his computer, making sure it couldn't be restored. I wasn't stupid enough to bring a government-issued laptop with me. As long as those files were destroyed, shit was sweet. If you think you're going to get away with this, you are wrong. I watched in the mirror near the side of his desk and saw us an inch closer to that damn metal bag. I ducked as soon as he swung it. Spinning around, I leaped from where I stood and snatched the bag, tossed it onto the floor, snatching his head and snapping his neck while shoving my knee into his chest, cracking it. When I tossed him, he fell back onto Shorty while I continued to beat the shit out of him with my bare hands. Grabbing the stapler from the desk, I put staples in his face and shoved the entire shit down his throat as he laid on her lifeless, and she was shaking. I continued to stomp his ass down into the floor while she was too scared to move. When we made eye contact, I winked at her and then headed out the room with Don behind me. Yo, Matt, think she running a bath? Beans got my attention as I was thinking about the night I had to pull up on my hard-headed ass sister at her friend's house. I never cared to get involved in what the Delgados and Infernos had going on. I had my life in lane, and they had theirs. And when ours crossed, there was mutual respect. And if they ever needed it, I would always extend a hand, like I had at Monica. They never needed the favor because they handled shit on their own, like I handled things on my own. I remember seeing the horror in Shorty's eyes as she watched me do Jasper in. I heard District Attorney Fern handled her, though. Capone had a plan like I had for my siblings by making his sister go to college and then law school. It was funny that both of our sisters were best friends and crossed paths. Two black women who were a force to be reckoned with. I finished my scotch and handed my cup to Beans as I slowly made my way down the hall. Before I made it down the hall, I backpedaled and looked at the crooked picture on the wall. My black gloves fixed it, and then I continued down the hall. The sound of water running could be heard as I came down the hallway. Not going to front, whatever she was using in her bubble bath smelled divine. I made a mental note to see what she was using. Cracking my knuckles, I looked into the bathroom as she lowered herself into the tub slowly. She was tired. That old nigga was supposed to retire her into the soft girl era, and he had her running worse than a YN would. He was supposed to be the retirement plan, and now she was about to die. There was no other way around this. She had to die. Had Jeffy allowed me to kill her when I wanted to, I wouldn't even have to be here on my wedding day having to end this big-headed bitch. My beef was personal with her because every time her name was mentioned, I thought back to how she offered my baby up. No remorse in her eyes as she screamed out that Stevie was a virgin and she would marry me. I mean, I could thank her now because I was about to marry my baby. Although she offered it up, I had taken it the right way. Actually, I was pissed that she took me as a nigga who would take what wasn't mine. Yeah, she had to die because she called me a rapist and I was just noticing it. I shook off my suit jacket and removed my shirt while handing it over to Beans. And my tank top, I looked over at him before I walked into the bathroom with my hands clasped. Priscilla nearly died when she saw me coming into the bathroom, and those same tears came sliding down her face while she shook in fear. She was scared, and she had every right to be scared of what I was going to do to her.
Exactly, because you did what you did, girl. Play Stevie like that. And you think you will get away with it? Not his baby.
Hey, prissy, missed me? I swear, I had nothing to do with that girl getting killed or your arm guard. Ray told me he was going to get us out of there, and he did that. I didn't mean for them to die. Why did he kill Tiana? Sweet Angel was innocent. Best pussy of Case House. I almost had them put that on her coffin. She stared at me like I was crazy for not knowing. Tiana was the one who set everything up. She told Ray how easy it was to book things on the side, and she was doing it for a while. Oh, really? She got more comfortable thinking she was going to talk her way out of losing her life. Yes, that was how I met Ray in the first place. We hung out and she put me on the rich guys that she had slept with. Then she introduced me to Ray, who worked for Case House in Vegas. All I knew was they were meeting clients off to the side. I didn't know anything else. But was spending my money. I will pay it off at that farm. It's so beautiful there. I enjoyed working with the animals. I could tell she was telling the truth. I was got a baby and kicked that trick. Who? My fucking horses. How are they? Great. I was in charge of KTT. I didn't know that was what her name stood for. I smiled. Yeah, she be out there tearing them up during races. Bitch makes me millions per year on races. She won the Kentucky Derby last year. My hands were in everything, and nobody knew it. I had people in place who acted like the owners and made sure she was taken care of. Nobody knew the Casellis had horses that were worth millions. I was waiting on Skylar to tell me that my goddaughter wanted a horse, because I was going to buy her one, then have it raced so she could be sitting on her own millions before she was 10. Her mama was playing slow for now, not even knowing Corleone owned a few horses his damn self. Oh, wow, she stammered. So Tiana's the reason for all of this? She nodded her head quickly. Yes, Ray called her to help with some money and she was supposed to meet with them. Then I heard she was dead. I leaned on the sink, and you want me to believe that you had nothing to do with this and didn't see shit. All I heard was what happened. I didn't see anything. I heard a gun go off, and then the line went dead. She continued to tell all that she heard. I looked at the doorway. Yo, make sure they dump that bitch body out my casket. I want my casket in my garage when I get home. Beans went to make the call. How dare she rob me, die, and make me pay for a funeral? Her mother better gather her body up and use a blanket in that fucking grave. I would take the grave, but apparently her family had a plot for her already. What is going to happen to me? Where's the old man? I swear, I don't know. He's supposed to call me and meet up with me. Honestly, I think he ran off without me. He's a good liar. You know, one of those that will sell you a dream and have you fully believe in it. That is him. Sucks for you. Want to know one thing you never asked about? What? Your fucking friend, bozo. Not once did you care about her well-being. I could have killed her and had her stinking and you didn't give a fuck. Oh, God. Is she all right? More than all right, actually. I don't even share my business for real. But I'm getting married today. To who? She asked like she was surprised that someone was going to marry me. I flinched at her, causing water to overflow out the tub. Bitch, who else? The fuck you asking like I ain't a catch? To Stevie? Yeah, that's my baby. What my sister say? My little yeah. You're using it wrong. You're marrying her, right? Uh-huh. Then she ain't your little yeah. She's your woman. Yeah is usually a little yeah. Someone on the side, not really marriage material. She broke down the dumbass slang that I heard Zoya use when talking to Cora. She's gonna be my wife after today, so none of that even matters. I looked at my watch. I don't have much time, so I need to wrap this up. Please, God, no. I don't want to die. Beans walked into the bathroom with an air fryer from the kitchen, and Priscilla nearly died when she laid eyes on what was going to happen to her. I was dressed for success, and I couldn't waste time dunking her.
They go fly up behind. She gonna be electrocuted. Oh no, girl, get up that bathroom. Get out the bath, girl.
Dunking her head in that water and risk getting wet with her booty juice water. Who knew the last time she took a fucking bath? She screamed out while I turned it on and got it nice and hot. It wasn't shit in there. It was just going while Beans walked over and dunked her head into the water while he waited for me to give him the word. Think she got good lungs? I don't know. She looked like a smoker. Yeah, those lips black, so she had smoked some weed in her time. This little cheap shit is heating up pretty nice. Go ahead and let her loose. Priscilla came up with her arm swinging while trying to catch her breath. When she locked eyes with me, I waved as I used my finger and shoved it into the tub. sending electric currents in her body shaking like a cold stripper in the North Pole. Her eyes rolled back to the back of her head as she continued to cook in that tub, while me and Beans watched her. I watched her and smiled at her life leaving her body, and I was responsible. This bitch didn't give a fuck about my baby, and she didn't need her around. Girl was more concerned about herself, even after I mentioned Wonder. I could see in her face that she didn't give a fuck what happened to anyone, as long as she was not the one dying. I couldn't stand selfish people, and I really couldn't stand someone who treated my Wonder bad, especially when my baby was a good person. Wonder would give her shirt off her back for the people she cared about. People like her deserved the world, and at times they were always given the short end of the stick. I could relate to Wonder, because I never had friends growing up until Corleone came into my life. Even though I never had friends, I never wanted those bitches. Wonder was different because she wanted friends, and because she didn't have many, she often jumped at being more of a friend to those shitty ones that came around. Yo, Mads, you need to go ahead and get married. Congratulations. Shit is beautiful what you and Stevie had. I looked at Shorty still jerking around in that tub. Make sure that bitch is dead, and if she even feel like she got some breath, snuff that shit out of her. Of course. I walked out the bathroom and then doubled back. You spoke to Don? We went to get drinks last night. Answer his call. He realized his ass overstepped. Don't make me have to kill another friend of his. He ain't gonna recover. Beans chuckled because his ass wasn't all the way there either. I can see when I'm overstepping. Talk to him though. You did what needed to be done. Don't matter if he understands or not. He's alive to understand this shit and wouldn't have been if you didn't step in. I looked at him and then headed back to the front room. Before putting my stuff on, I snagged Shorty's phone from the counter, quickly putting my shit back on. The door opened, and I stepped out to go and get married to the love of my life. When it came to Wonder, I would kill whoever hurt her and didn't mean her well. I wasn't ever letting up when it came to Mrs. Caselli. Recommendation: Listen to For You by Kenny Lattimore. With traffic, it took me 40 minutes to make it to City Hall. Apparently, you were able to rent City Hall, and that's exactly what Jeffy did. She made sure we had a photographer and everything that we needed. That blank space over the mantle was going to have the picture of us, and I wasn't playing around. My driver looked in the mirror. 10 minutes ETA. I nodded as I looked down at my hands, not having the urge to rub them together. You would think I would be rubbing these shits on the back of my driver's bald head. Instead, I was excited to see Wonder. 10 minutes seemed too long because I wanted to see her right now. Her little nervous half smile she did when she saw me. I made her nervous, and sometimes she avoided eye contact with me. I was someone who hated eye contact, but with her, I had to see her eyes. Nothing went right unless I looked into her eyes. Damn, she was so perfect. I had a hard time wrapping my head around her being mine. She was going to be my wife, and the shit that tripped me out was that she actually wanted to be my wife. Wonder wanted to marry me, and she loved me. I wasn't the most easygoing man in the world, and I lost my shit up.
You sure wasn't. You sure wasn't, Menace. You was a teller. But hey, you wear her down. When you wear her down, she started loving you. I think y'all both had a rude awakening with each other.
Often. At times, I could be too much for a basic woman. Wanda recognized that I was too much, and she still wanted me. Where she could have went on with her life, she remained because she saw a future with me. The future made me excited because I couldn't wait to experience life through her eyes. I've been to most countries and had always been bored with them. In Paris, I never went anywhere when I had business there. I usually stayed in the hotel room and waited to handle business before I was out again. A nigga found himself actually excited to explore because she was excited to do it. I wanted to hold her phone while she did her fake vlogs because those meant something to her. Years from now, I wanted to look at home videos knowing we had a life together. A tear slid from behind my dark shades as we pulled up to the back of City Hall. When the truck stopped, I screwed my face up when I saw Landon there.
Aww. A thug got a horn. He crying, going. He's crying, y'all. I love it. I love it.
As far as I knew, it would only be me and Wonder, along with Skylar, Jeffy, and Corleone. He stood there dressed in a suit with a CH pen, his hands in his pockets. My driver hopped out and opened the door, and I looked at him. The fuck you doing here? My big brother getting married. Didn't think I would fucking come? Nah. Then that's where you fucked up. Don't care how we feeling about each other. I'm there. He held his hand out, and I grabbed it, and he pulled me into a hug. Relax, nigga. It's a hug. I allowed my body to relax as I hugged my baby brother. Thank you. You ain't even gotta say it. Let's get you married. He fell back and allowed me to walk in first. Before I could continue further, I felt a hand and turned to see Cora. She had a mask on and quickly removed it. Her eyes were already misty as she held my hand. Mom's birthday. That's why you want it today? She hugged me and kissed me on the cheek. You deserve this, Maverick. No one deserves this more than you. And I am so proud of you, she whispered before she slipped off. Corleone walked toward me and held his hand out, pulling me into a hug. Why the fuck everybody want to hug me? He held the back of my head.
You get married, boy. That's why. Get the hugs in, because you won't get that much of that afterwards.
My head as he spoke in my ear. This is your chance, man, to have happiness in the life you thought you would never have. Stevie is 1 in a million, and I know she makes you happy. I watch you with her, and you are different. The man that you want to be. Continue to hold on to that and love her. Protect her with everything you have and choose her. Know that she is more than what's going on up there. Love you, man. After his speech, this nigga kissed me on the head. Don't do that again, Brewster. He laughed. Yeah, can't make no promises. Jeffy and your sisters went a little off script. I walked from the back into the main area of City Hall with the tall, vaulted ceilings and gold trimmings. Instead of going to the office we were supposed to get married in, they had an altar with chairs on both sides. There was an Indian man sitting with a woman. Then I saw Ghost and Free. Behind them, there was Ramik and Giovanna. Carter nodded to me as she held Star's hand. Cora sat in the back and nodded her head as she remained far from us. I looked at the grand staircase and saw a woman coming down. When she saw me, she stopped mid-step, then continued down toward me. You must be Menace. I'm Cindy. Stevie is like my shop daughter. She worked in my shop, and I love her very much. That woman deserves the world, and I pray that you give it to her. I ain't really even know this woman, so all she got was a nod from me. I got her. She smiled, and she went to take her place. Zoe came down the steps with Skylar and came over to me. No matter what, I love you and would not miss seeing you have happiness. She reached up and kissed me on the cheek, and I looked at her. All I want for you. Let's worry about you today, okay? Okay. Skylar smiled. She's beautiful, man. I could tell she had been crying. I'm already knowing. Yeah. She smiled and took a seat. Corleone and Don came and stood beside me next to the pastor. I kept my hands in my pockets because I had the urge to rub my hands because I was anxious waiting to see her come down those steps. I didn't even need to see her to know that she was beautiful. Stevie was beautiful and fresh on the wake up. Every moment of her day she was beautiful, and I found myself lost in her. Hold the pole, baby. Skylar called as Estella came down the steps tossing flowers. She had candy in her flower basket too, because she picked that up and dumped them all over the flowers in one spot. Frustrated with herself, she started crying, and Skylar went to get her, but Corleone stopped her. He went up the steps and picked Estella up, who held on to him while he kissed her cheek and told her that she was all right. Corleone wanted to be a father more than anything, and I knew he would be great at the shit. The man had the patience of a saint and was built for that. How he soothed Estella without needing her mother told me that Skylar, Estella, and Jeffy were in good hands. Jeffy came down the steps and Corleone waited at the bottom with Estella, reaching his hand out. She took his hand, and he walked over towards Skylar. Estella reached out for her mother. I took a deep breath. You good? Breathe. I turned when I saw Duke. Boss, she looks like an angel. For You by Kenny Lattimore softly played as I looked up and saw her at the top of the steps. My heart jumped out of my chest as I watched her. She was dressed in an ivory one-shoulder dress that hugged every curve she had, even those I ain't never seen. The dress hugged her body perfectly, with a little bit of material that trailed behind her. Her hair was straight and pulled into a messy bun with a few tresses hanging. I didn't hear shit Kenny Lattimore was singing about, because all I saw was her. She waved at me with a nervous smile. Mads, the fuck you doing? Corleone whispered as I left the altar and went up the steps to get my baby. Hi, Mitchell, she whispered. Hi, Wanda, I whispered back as I held my hand out, and her perfect hand slid right into mine as she took one step at a time. You look beautiful, baby. She smiled. You look handsome, Mavi. I love you in a suit. I love you butt-ass naked in my bed. She snorted.
Boy, you just gotta ruin the moment, but that was cute though. That was cute. That was cute. That would have me chuckle too.
Nasty. I kissed her cheek. 1, 2, 3. Wonder blushed as we made our way down the steps. You're not going to count all of my freckles. Watch me make their ass wait while I do it. She squeezed my hand. Mavi, my heel got stuck in my dress. That's why I was up there so long. Wonder snorted loudly, sending an echo through the hall. I couldn't help but to laugh as I bent down and unraveled her dress from her heel. There you go. Cora dabbed her eyes as we made it down the last step and walked to the altar. Who gives this woman away? The woman that spoke to me, the Indian man, and Skylar stood up. We do, they all said, and Stevie looked at each of them, blowing a kiss. As we stood up there, staring into each other's eyes, nothing mattered in this moment. Not the fact that Priscilla was a crispy mermaid, or the fact that her father was somewhere out here. None of
Not a crispy mermaid. She got fried. That was funny.
None of that mattered because I was marrying my baby. Ghost and Rob both gave me a nod and winked as I turned my attention back to Wonder. The pastor went on saying all that he had to say to bless this union. What color panties you got on? I mouthed to Wonder. Stop. She squeezed my hand while trying to hold her laugh in. I never broke eye contact with her. She looked away from me a few times, but my eyes remained on her. How the fuck did I get so lucky with her? When did God wake up and decide to make my baby an accomplice to robbery? How did he know I would fall in love with her? My whole life was in this woman's hands. Anything she wanted, I would give her because she deserved it. Mavi, she softly said, and I looked at the pastor and everyone looking at me. If she asked me to choke this nigga, I would. What happened? Do you have vows? I didn't write down vows because I needed to say how I felt about her in real time. No pen or paper could hold down how I was feeling about the woman in front of me. Yeah. What? Zoe's loud-ass mouth said. I looked at her and she whispered sorry while leaning back in her chair. Tell her how you feel, Menace, Corleone whispered. Public speaking wasn't my thing, and I wasn't for the shit most of the time. Standing in front of a bunch of people and confessing my feelings was torture for me. The difference was I needed to do it for Stevie. I had to tell her and the world how I felt, because then if somebody tried to jump stupid, I could kill them without an explanation. They knew how I felt about her and still wanted to be stupid. I'm not a man of a million words, but for you, Wonder, I got 2 million. I love you so much that at night, I think of how I'm going to beat the shit out of the landscaper for the one time he winked at you 3 weeks ago. He had blue on that day, and you were with... Menace, nigga, focus, Corleone whispered while trying to...
Exactly, like, who asked you to do reminisce about that? Oh, Menace is... Oh, my God, this guy is a trip. Boy, come on.
While trying to have a smile on his face. The pastor was mortified, and I was sure he was going to toss holy water on me next. Yeah, I lay away at night thinking of ways to keep you happy. I never not want to see that smile on your face. You are the sweet and good that I need in my life. We balance each other out, Wanda. Who the fuck is Wanda? I heard Don whisper to Corleone. I kissed her hands. You told me that it had been a while since you felt warm and safe. Last time you felt like that was with your mother. As your husband, I promise to always make you feel warm and safe. I am your safe place, your home, and protector. For a while, it has always been Menace, but I realized since you came into my life, there is no me without you. You are the missing puzzle. I love you, Stevie. She stared up at me with tears in her eyes.
Oh, that was cute. That was cute. Aw. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Love has always been something that I wanted, but I was afraid to open myself to a man, give him a piece of me that I was always certain he would break. How could something I wanted scare me so much? I had never been in love before, not with a man. My love had always been my mama. I never knew how it would happen for me. Then I met you, Mavi. I knew for sure I could never love a man like you, and I was so wrong. The more I was around you, I had this little feeling, like a sting in my chest, and it only activated when you were around. I'm not perfect, and you accept me for who I am, and you have never tried to change me, no matter how much I drive you up the wall. As your wife, I want to stand by your side and allow you to lead. I just ask that you allow one thing from me. I kissed her hands again. What's that, Wonder? Allow me to show you how good it can get, how great we can be, and how happy you can be. I promise never to put sauce on your chicken or squeeze the toothpaste hard. I promise to never go to bed angry and allow you to sleep on me, no matter if you drool on me. I promise to give you my whole heart because I know you would never break it. I promise to love you as you, Mavi. Never change you because what fun would that be? I want the challenge, and baby, you are that. I love you, Mitchell. I love you, Wanda. For someone that was supposed to be keeping a low profile, Cora's loud-ass nose blowing had us all looking back at her. She held her hand up and looked away because she was sobbing so hard. Cora, more than anybody, knew how much I never thought this would happen for me. It wasn't because I couldn't get women. It was hard opening up and allowing someone in. As much as I wanted to fight letting Wanda in, she wormed her way into my heart. I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Caselli. You may kiss your bride. I held her face and kissed her lips a bunch of times before slipping my tongue into her mouth. She pulled away and licked my nose and then quickly used her sleeve. Don't you flip out in here, Maverick. I kissed her lips. Don't do no shit like that again, Wonder. Why the fuck would you lick my face? She laughed.
She know he don't not like that. Yeah, he is a germaphobe.
She laughed and kissed my lips. I am your wife. You are my wife, Mrs. Caselli. I picked her up and carried her down the aisle and was heading back to the truck when Corleone ran behind me. Nigga, where the hell you going? We done, right? Yeah, but damn, you gotta stick around for pictures. Mantle, baby, she reminded me, and I put her down onto the floor and held her hand. I'm going to have the makeup artist touch up my makeup. I kissed her lips and bit my bottom lip as I watched that ass switch away. You don't know what those jeans do to me. Make me want to get down on one knee. I sang out the words to that infamous Genuine song that was now dubbed Wonder Song every time I saw her ass. I don't even want to know. If I tell you, then we can't be friends no more, Brewster. I went. He squeezed my shoulder. I already got into the systems and wiped all the cameras of us ever being here. Geeky got the cameras on all surrounding blocks of Cora, too. Oh, good looks on grabbing that phone. Enjoy your night with your new wife, and then business right after. Congratulations, mans. Fucking happy for you. Appreciate it. I watched as he walked over to Jeffy holding the Stella and pulled Skylar with him as they took pictures with Wonder. We took so many pictures that my damn head was spinning when we were done. All I focused on was my new bride and how seeing she was over there serving top model. She tossed that thick thigh up in one picture and was living for being in front of the camera. We took one at the very top of the steps, and I dipped as I kissed her neck, and she laughed. The picture was fucking perfect. Duke went to walk the photographer out to grab all his memory cards. There wasn't any pictures of Menace Caselli out there, and the damn show wasn't about to start. The Casellis! Rock clapped his hands. Mans, I'm proud of you. Rock came over and dapped me. Hi, Wonder greeted. Wonder, this is Ramik Vanducci. If anything should ever happen to me, this man and those two over there would make sure that you are always straight. He nodded his head and hugged her. Indeed, the families. He held the champagne flute up, and Ghost and Carter followed. Nice to meet you. Wonder held on to me, and I kissed her forehead, which had Rob freaked out. He was trying to figure out how to act because this was so outside of who I was. We mingled for a bit before I was ready to get out of here. Wonder walked across the room and hugged the Indian man as he spoke to her. I could see from his expression that this was family. He was proud of her, and he loved her. She walked over toward me while holding his hand. Alex, this is my husband, Menace. Maverick Caselli. I corrected her. My baby already knew not to give out the name to anyone, but this was as close as a father that I would meet of hers. He was her family, and I was a man that showed respect, so he got the honor of knowing my name. Maverick, it's nice to meet you. I would have loved to meet you sooner, but someone keeps secrets. Wonder snickered. It was a need-to-know basis. Stevie, your mother would be so proud of you. I felt her spirit with us today, and I know she is happy for you. He turns his attention to me. Take care of her. She is a light and so special to me and my family. Wanda rested her head on his arm. Love you, Alex. Love you so much more, Stevie. I want to see you more too, yeah? She smiled. I promise. He hugged her, shook my hand, and then headed back over with who I assumed was his wife. I watched as Skylar smiled at him as she made her way over toward us. She stopped mid-walk and did this little gangster walk while smiling before Stevie joined her, and they jumped up and down. You are married, Stevie? She jumped up and down, then turned to look at me. To Menace. Hi, fuck you too, Skylar. She laughed. I am happy for you both and can't wait to witness this union between you two. I'm sad you'll be moving out the apartment into that big fortress. Guess you're gonna have to Thanksgiving with the mini serial killer, man. My jaw clenched. You need to get her to stop doing that shit. It's all cool until she's standing over you with a knife because you told her no more cartoons. You saw that fit she threw on the stairs. Menace, my baby ain't no damn serial killer. Skylar snorted. Corleone came over with Jeffy. He was holding Estella, who was resting her head on his shoulder. Her nap time is approaching and she's starting to get whiny. She wanted candy and then started crying when I opened it. She wanted me and then cried for him, Jeffy added. Skylar hugged her cousin. I love you so much, Stevie. I'm so happy for you. And you know that Menace is going to take care of you. You deserve that. You know that, right? Stevie nodded her head, fighting the urge to not cry. I know that. Do you know that? Today isn't about me. There will come a time when it is, but not today, Steve. It's about you today, and you deserve all the attention to be on you because you are so damn amazing. She looked over at me with watery eyes. Appreciate how amazing she is, and don't try to change her. So many have tried to change her. I'm sure many have tried to change you too. You both found love within each other for a reason. Corleone kissed her forehead and pulled her into him. Menace, everything is a go. I love you both, and I'm so happy for you. Jeffy smiled as she looked at both of us. Thank you for all of this, Jeffy. I was expecting to go into an office and get married quickly. This was everything I didn't know that I needed. She hugged Wonder and smiled. Everything you both deserved. The focus was on you two. No big overdrawn wedding that would send this one into a spiral. Yeah, Jeffy laughed and rested her head on my arm. Love you, Mans. Everything is handled, and you are good to head on out. What are you up to? Wanda looked at me. Taking you on a quick trip before I have to come back and head back out for business. I had business to handle, so we couldn't go far. I wanted to take her somewhere and show her somewhere that meant a lot to me. Now? Uh-huh. I want to fuck you in the air, Wanda. She kissed my neck.
Ooh, child. Don't do it. We had a good time. Not the air fucking.
Mile High Club. Bucket list item. Check. I paused. With fucking who? Whoever had a jet. It just happened to be you. Yay, let's be happy, baby. She clapped her hands. When she stopped in the middle of her clap, she touched my wonder pin. I keep you next to my heart at all times. Mavi. She kissed my lips. I'm so glad it was you with the jet that I get to sleep with. It would suck if it was someone else. She snorted. Yeah, I kissed her head as Duke held the door open, and I put her in the truck before climbing behind her.
28. Stevie Caselli, Evermere, Texas. Hey, look at me and breathe, Stevie. We're landing now. He whispered in my ear as I held onto him tightly. It was storming, and the turbulence had my nerves bad. I had tears in my eyes as I held on to my husband for dear life. The minute that we landed, I was going to beat him with my purse. What the fuck? I screamed as it felt like the jet was getting lower and shaking at the same time. I didn't get kidnapped, lose my virginity, and then married to this beautiful man, all for this to be the end. He kissed my neck. He's going through the clouds. It's going to be a little turbulence. Look. He pulled up the shade, and I looked out the window as we were nearing the ground. Flying didn't bother me. When we went to Paris, it wasn't bad, and we didn't hit any turbulence. At least, I never felt any because I was sleeping most of the time. This is not how I had plans on joining the Mile High Club. The minute that Maverick took his shirt off and we were in the back room, the plane started to shake, and he just knew he wasn't getting any. I was trying to hide under the bed in the room, and he had to pull me from under there, and we came back to the main part to sit. He held me on his lap and talked to me to soothe my nerves. My heart felt like it was in my chest as I said a prayer and looked at Maverick. I told you that we were going to be good. How are you so calm? I fly all the time, Wonder. Never really thought about anything ever happening because things are in place to take care of my siblings if something ever happened to me. I stared at him, horrified. You cannot think that anymore, Maverick. I am here. Things in place isn't you. He kissed me on the lips. I hear you. The jet hit the runway, and I could relax because we were on solid ground. It was pouring as everyone ran around like crazed chickens, making sure the truck was pulled up close enough to the jet and holding out umbrellas. Maverick snatched one and held it over us as we made our way down the steps. He put me into the truck first, and then someone held the umbrella over him as he got in on the other side. Where are we going? You're going to see. He held my hand as we pulled away from that damn jet. I couldn't believe that I had gotten married. Everything felt right when it came to marrying this man. I didn't have any nerves as I prepared to take vows to love him forever. His vows to me made me see that he loved me as much as I loved him. It was a different feeling when someone loved you as much as you loved them. I've dated men in the past where I liked them way more than they liked me. The energy was different, and you constantly felt like you were trying to be something that you weren't, just to get them to like you just a bit.
Exactly. That's gonna be exhausting. It's like you're trying so hard to see they like you, and then you got to realize, you know what? You put on the effort. It's not you. It's them. And you got to realize if the person don't reciprocate, you just don't stop. You just stop doing the effort because it will exhaust you and make you feel like you worth this and you're not worth it. When actuality, you probably doing what you're supposed to be doing, and that person is just not understanding.
A bit more. With Maverick, I could tell that he was obsessed with me, if not more, as I was with him. I squeezed his hand as he looked up from his phone and kissed my forehead. I don't hear you thinking. A good sign, huh? I smiled. A very good sign, Mitchell. I watched as we pulled up to iron gates, and Maverick repeated the same process that had to be done at his house, our house. Guards surrounded the truck and did their usual security check before we went through the gates. It was dark, so I couldn't see much but trees, land, and fences. The only thing illuminated was a massive luxury ranch-style home that sat in the center of the property. Are we on a farm? Case Farms. He kissed my temple as they opened the doors for us. I became excited. You own a farm? Baby, I told you I owned one when we were in that warehouse. This was where your father and Shorty was sent. He held his hand out to help me out the back. And we own a farm. I smiled when he corrected me. Housekeeping staff were all there waiting for him to tell them anything. He held my hand as he pulled me into the house. The exposed wooden beams, cream and brick interior with the chestnut wooden floors made this massive home cozy. I took in everything as he pulled me further into the house. Why would they escape here? They wasn't in my shit. There's apartments over the barns. See, I tried to be nice and do what you wanted. Now you see why I have to resort to who I really am? He stared down into my eyes, and I understood. Why in the hell would they run away from this when their life could have been spared? My father called me slow, but I was starting to see it was him who was slow.
Exactly.
The exposed beam followed into the master suite with the creams and the light furniture. The entire wall was window and showed the land that I'm sure would be even more beautiful when the sun rose. I was excited to sit in the seating area that was outside the master suite and see the sun. Maverick's arm wrapped around me as he kissed my neck. What you thinking? How this place is amazing, and I cannot wait to explore it tomorrow. Can I explore you? He never had to do or say much for my body to react to him. Everything about this man made my body and mind react. Turning around in his arms, I stared up into his eyes and pushed my lips against his. Maverick held me so tightly, as if he never wanted to let me go. Like I would disappear from his arms if he decided to let me go. I was his dream, someone that he had only dreamed about, never believing he would ever have this for himself. True love. I wanted Maverick and didn't care about the money, power, and everything that came with loving a man like him. His influence was something that many witnessed, and I could admit it was a turn-on. I had fell in love with the person. The man that had to have his shampoo and his body wash put in the shower a certain way, or his entire year would be ruined. While others found his ways exhausting, and it could be at times, I found them as his way of having control. His compulsions were something that he could control. He created an entire life and home devoted to controlling how things were. For a regular woman, that would have sent her running to the hills. I guess I understood Maverick, because he was my mother in man form. My mother wasn't as bad as Maverick, but she had her ways. As much as she was my everything, at times she could be my own enemy. We often clashed over the silliest things, like putting the milk inside of another container, even though it had already come in a container. I also recognized that my mother had trauma as a child, and then she married a man that furthered that trauma for her. Whenever my parents argued or fought, and I would hear that door slam, I would watch as she cleaned things that had already been cleaned. All the washcloths in the linen closet would be color-coded and separated by the material on the small tags. It was my father who triggered her, and he was no good for her. Maverick scared me at first because I didn't want to be his trigger. Someone that caused him to rub his hands even more than he already did, or freaked out about broccoli being in the fridge with the apples. I gave him something that I wished my father would have given my mother, a safe space. He held the sides of my face as he softly kissed my lips. My eyes closed as his soft lips pecked mine, and his hands made their way down to my ass. Taking a handful of my ass, he sucked on my lips before he picked me up. I've never in life felt small enough to be tossed around like a rag doll, and here came Maverick. He picked me up and tossed me over his shoulder whenever he wanted, with ease. There was never any struggle as he handled me. My arms wrapped around his neck as he carried me onto the terrace off the master suite. It was fall, and the sun had gone down, so it was a little cool. Not as cool as it would have been had we been still in New York. What are we doing? I searched his eyes as he kissed my neck and continued to hold me while I was wondering why we were out here. I want you to ride this dick under the stars, Wonder. It was his low, husky voice, low eyes as he stared into mine, and him.
Ooh, we riding under the stars. We voting on it. Oh, nice. That's romantical. That's romantic, y'all.
And him slapping my ass in the process. Isn't the staff going to see us out here? Security is on the other side, and the staff better be taking their asses to bed. He roughly kissed my lips as he put me down onto the bed that was on the terrace. He leaned over me as we both stared into each other's eyes. It wasn't registering that I had married this man and had no regrets. There was no panic attack to follow and questioning what I had done. I was so sure and clear in my decision that it was almost scary. As someone who was an overthinker and who second-guessed herself a lot, it was almost healing to know that my heart did know what I wanted. It acted out of confusion when it came to those that didn't deserve to hold it. I was unsure and second-guessing because they weren't right and wouldn't protect my heart for me. My heart was so certain when it came to Maverick that I didn't have a minute to second-guess anything. My brain was moving my feet to rush down the steps to get to him. You have my heart, Stevie Caselli. He broke our silence and kissed my lips while rubbing the side of my face. I smiled and rubbed his face. You have mine, Maverick Caselli. On the jet, I was able to change clothes and put on a white tracksuit that Cora bought me that said bride on the ass. I felt him removing them as he continued to stare into my eyes. Lifting my ass, I allowed him to pull them off me slowly. I can't even remember what life was before you crashed into my life, baby. I don't want to remember what it was like because you weren't there. I didn't believe in shit when Ra and Ghost told me that I needed a wife because I never needed anybody. He placed my hand to his chest. You make me feel like this, and I know now that I needed a wife. I needed you in my life, and now that I got you, I ain't never letting you go. Good. I want you to keep making me feel warm and safe. I pointed at his chest. You make me feel that way, baby. We shared a kiss as I felt him removing his pants and sliding between my legs. I opened my legs and allowed him in as he continued to kiss me softly. He was always so slow and soft as he took his time with me. Maverick was gentle with me, as if I was the most precious thing in the world. It was this look of pure love in his face as I felt him push inside of me. The soft kisses he gave me to make sure that he was gentle were always my favorite. He pulled up and looked at me in the face before he licked my face. Mavi, I laughed. You're the only person I want licking my face, Wonder. It's me and you forever. And then even after that, we still rocking. Come get me from hell. I smashed my lips against his as I held him around the neck as I felt him go harder, shaking the bed. The bed was up against the house, and each time he delivered thrust after thrust. My body jerked as I felt him slowly pull out of me and look at me. What's the matter? He hiked one of my legs up as he maintained eye contact with me. I'm about to fuck you, baby. I ain't a slow and steady man. I licked my lips as I came out of my shirt and unhooked my bra. He stared down at me and then pulled out of me some, and we both looked down. The sight of seeing him inside of me turned me on even more. How shiny it was because I was so wet for him. He was the only man who had been inside of me, and the only man who could get this reaction out of me. When he looked up, our eyes met, and he had this smirk on his face. You know I feel like that nigga, right? Why? 'Cause this all mine. Ain't nobody been inside of you. I get to teach you how to take dick, baby. He picked me up, and I yelped because I didn't expect him to snatch me up so quickly. I was butt naked, while Maverick was naked from the waist down, his dress shirt still on. He put me on the edge of the metal and wooden banister with cable wiring. My ass hung off the edge of the banister as he pushed himself back into me, holding me up while I held onto his neck. His soft bites on my shoulder while he beat my pussy to no end. Maverick wasn't showing me any remorse as he held on to me so I didn't fall, but continued going without stopping. Fuck this dick back, Wonder. I want to feel you too. I held his neck and the banister as I tossed it back on him, tossing my head back. Like that, Maffy? You like that? He sucked on my lips, never missing a step as he pulled out and quickly slammed all of him back inside of me. I screamed out while I held his neck tighter and bit down on his shoulder. He moved me from the banister and put me back on the bed, flipping me over on my stomach. Toot that ass up, baby. His hand slammed down on my ass, and he slapped it again while the stinging was fresh. I looked back at him, and he was biting down on his bottom lip as he watched my ass shake. You want it like this? I bent down so far that the arch was perfect. Where the fuck you learn this shit, baby? No nigga better not have been trying to teach you shit. His dick fought its way back inside, and once it was inside, he held onto my hips and slammed me back. Throw it back. Harder. Fuck me as hard as you be squeezing that toothpaste. I couldn't even keep a straight face as I laughed and threw this ass back onto him.
You better grip it. He said you better grip that grip it, girl. Tighten that walls on that piece. I know that's right.
Making my ass cheek jump, he stopped. What's the matter, Mavi? Don't do that shit again. I'm a nut. He slapped my ass again and then slammed me back onto him. I was hard-headed, and knowing I had him about to tap out made me do it more. Instead of making only one, I made them both jump at the same time. You want me to stop that? He slapped both ass cheeks and gripped them. Since you hard-headed, you about to ride this dick. I giggled as he sat on the bed, laying back and pulled me on top of him. I didn't do nothing. I sucked on his lips as he caressed my chin and kissed my lips. I'm about to slut you out, wifey.
Ooh.
As I was about to say something.
Damn. Woman in the streets in a freaking sheets. I know that's right.
Something. He gripped my ass. You my actual wife, so I can call you that. I smirked as I flipped the opposite way and licked the pre-cum from his dick and then commenced to taking him down slowly. Meanwhile, he grabbed my hips and I felt his tongue tasting me. We were both competing to see who could make the other come first. And as I sucked and went deeper, he was winning because he wasn't playing fair. No breaks. Suck that shit, Wonder. You tapping out? Never, I said, while his dick was still inside of my mouth. Reaching down, I massaged his balls, and he was the one that was taking the break. Fuck, I need you on this shit now. Sure? I continued to talk with a mouth full of dick while his toes were curling in his socks. I wasn't as experienced in sex like Maverick was, but I was learning what he liked slowly. Feeling his dick in the back of my throat was one of his favorites. He pulled me down onto his dick as he played with my nipples and made sure to hold me where he wanted me. I was too slow for him, so he always held me and sped it up, so I understood what he wanted. You nasty, Mrs. Caselli. I still became shy and nervous around this man, so when he was staring up at me while playing with my nipples, it was hard to keep eye contact. Mavi, I'm going to come. 'Cause I'm looking in your eyes, Mrs. Caselli. Uh-huh. You make me so wet when you stare at me. I held onto his chest as I continued to ride his dick, knowing I wouldn't be any good in a few seconds. He took both of his hands and held my waist and slammed me down onto his dick harder with each thrust. It started out chilly out here, and now I was full on sweating as he continued to fuck the shit out of me. My pussy tingled, and the pressure from feeling him inside of me had me on the edge. I wanted to come so bad, but I didn't want him to stop. Menace used one of his hands, and he always pressed my stomach while I was riding his dick, and the pressure from him and his hand always caused me to lose control. And when he did, that was when I collapsed on top of him. I know for a fact I put Dennis inside of you. Maverick, we aren't naming our baby Dennis.
You said Dennis? You just named the baby already? Yeah.
Why? He slapped my ass again. 'Cause that's ugly. He was quiet. Make that ass jump again for me. On command, I did it for him, and he started kicking his feet while I was on top of him. Fuck, Wonder. I'm about to get a pole in the bedroom. You about to be making that ass jump for me on a regular. Maverick, shh. Oh, now I gotta be quiet because you tired after getting some dick? He kissed my head and wrapped his arms around me. Yes, you did this. We were both quiet for a minute before he broke our silence. Wonder? I want it today because it's my mother's birthday, he revealed, and I lifted my head and stared into his eyes. Really? Yeah. I kissed his face. Happy birthday to your mommy. I think it's special that you wanted to honor her and make me your wife on her birthday. I'm always down when it comes to their anniversary, their birthdays, and the day they were murdered. My uncle took so much from me, and I want to reclaim something positive when it comes to them. What did he take from you, Mavi? He looked at me as I rested my head on my arms while on his chest and stared at him. He took my parents from me, which was everything. Changed my entire life and robbed Zoya and Landon of truly knowing our parents. Do you think your life would have been different had they been alive? He rubbed his face and he took my hand and kissed it. Think my life would have been different. Never got the chance to have that life and can't do shit about it now. Where is your uncle? All you need to know is that he took my family and I took his. He had this menacing look in his eyes as he spoke about his uncle. Our family. He looked down at me and smirked. Yeah, you're right, Wonder. I snuggled in his arms as he held me, kissing my forehead a few times as I kissed his chest. That warm and safe feeling I had been chasing for so long, I had found. Texas was a dream. The few days that we spent there felt like we were in our little bubble in the world. We never had to leave the farm, and when it was time to leave, I didn't want to go. Case Farm had a bunch of expensive horses that had security with them at all times. Skylar kept telling me that Maverick asked her if Estella wanted a horse, and I thought he was just being crazy. While we were there, a horse was born, and the staff allowed me to stay and watch it. It was one thing to know that this man was rich, and then another to realize just how rich he was. The amount of wealth that Maverick Caselli had would take care of his future generations. It became real when the lawyers came to the farm with Zoya on Zoom, and I had to sit down and sign a bunch of papers. I'm not understanding why I need my own lawyer. I looked at the screen and Zoya was eating lunch while one lawyer sat across from me with Maverick next to him, and my lawyer sat next to me. Maverick looked up at me. Stevie, you are about to sign a lot of paperwork, and you need to negotiate what you want. Should your marriage not work, what do you want? Menace wants to make sure that you are always taken care of. The lawyer is for your own good, not connected to us, and he can negotiate what you want on your terms. I don't like this, Mitchell. He looked up into my eyes as his hands were clasped together. What don't you like, baby? I don't want anything. What do I have to negotiate if we don't? I paused. The thought of us not being together was breaking my heart. How were we discussing this when we just got married? You're thinking too loud. I looked up at him. I don't want anything. My lawyer looked over at me. Are you sure? You can negotiate anything that the Casellis own. He picked up the papers in his hand. The private island off Grenada, stake in the credit union banks they own. You don't want anything? I only want a child, so I can be the baby mama from hell when you leave me, Mitchell. Wanda, the fuck is you talking about? You are trying to get rid of me, and I don't like that shit. Zoya laughed. Stevie, I promise he is not trying to get rid of you. He wants to protect you. Being honest, us Casellis don't believe in forever. I do. Maverick corrected his sister as he stared straight into my eyes. Then why all of this? Because you may not believe in forever with me, and even though it would kill me, I would always make sure you are good. I believe.
Girl, you better make sure you set. You don't want to put your eggs in one basket. Girl, if he's doing this for you, he cares. So you better make sure you put some things down. Make sure you protect yourself if something does happen. I know you like this. Oh, he always gonna be around, gonna be around. No. Protect yourself.
Leave in forever with you. I snatched the paper from my lawyer and looked at everything on this paper with wide eyes. You own a small town in France? He nodded. Zoya, I don't know. Your husband is adding you to all the accounts and wants to make sure that you are more than taken care of if you both should call it quits. Sign the damn papers and pick out some property. You need to get me pregnant because I promise me and my baby will pop up everywhere you are. I will stalk you, squeeze your toothbrush, and teach the baby too. Mavi laughed. Sign the papers, baby. Then I'm going to take you in the room so I can put that baby into you. His lawyer smiled, and Maverick's smile dropped. You just said you wanted to put a baby in my wife? Menace! Zoya screamed while the lawyer turned every shade of red. I took the pen and signed all the documents as the lawyer told me what I was putting my name on. My name had gone from this regular name to being powerful. I was to have security with me at all times, and my life wouldn't be the same anymore. The phone's chime forced me out of my thoughts. On the bright side, I was the new owner of 2 islands if me and Mavi ever decided to call it quits. I don't know why I picked an island, but it sounded like a good idea. If this went to shit, I could open my own resort on the island and live my day by the beach making sand art for the tourists with my baby strapped to me. Another chime came from his phone, and I went over to silence it. I never touch his phone because there was never any need to. If he was messing with other women, it would eventually come out. Damn it. The thought of Maverick talking to other women never ever crossed my mind. Why the hell did that thought just cross my mind? It was like when you were in the middle of prayer and then your intrusive thoughts entered and left you questioning why the hell you just screamed, "Fuck God," in your head. I plopped down on the bed and grabbed his phone. Peeking over my shoulder, I could still hear the shower and knew he wouldn't be out right away because he counted the times he washed up. Me. I'm getting married today, Angie. I always want you to be happy, even if it wasn't with me. I hope she makes you happy, sweets. I mean that too. Love you. My heart dropped at the message that he sent her. On our wedding day, he thought about her and sent her a message. Why would he do that to me? While I was ready to marry him and start this new journey, he was thinking about the past that he had with her. Alexa, play Let It Flow, I hollered. My blood boiled as I listened to Tony crooning the words to my life. That text message felt like it was etched in my brain. He reached out to her, and then she had the nerve to reply. My husband had the nerve to reach out to the very woman I suspected was responsible for him being the way that he was. He finally came out the room with his towel wrapped around him as I held the phone in my hand. Why are you still communicating with her, Maverick? He looked at me before he went over toward the bar and poured him a drink. I felt like she deserved to know. Not a big fucking deal. Why you got my phone anyway? Your stupid ass phone kept pinging and my finger slipped and don't worry about why I was in your phone. Worry about why I found this in your phone. I held the phone up to show him a picture of a woman showing her breast. Kim's ass sent that a few weeks ago. The more I sat there with Tony telling me that I needed to let it flow, the more my finger slipped and the more I dug deeper into his phone. And you didn't delete it? I don't delete shit, Wonder. I got messages from when Zoya was in fucking law school asking for money. I replied back to Kim. I know you saw it. I did see the response, and he sent her back a picture of a dog. I don't know what the reference was, but she was disturbed and cussed him out. Not the point. You don't think I can text one of my ex-boyfriends? I still have their numbers. Two can play that game. No, you don't. He casually finished his drink. Deleted every nigga in your phone that sounded like he tried to fuck you. I stared at him. Maverick, why would you do that? I don't care. I know one of them by heart, and I will reach out. He sighed as he rubbed his hands together. We all have to live with the actions of our decisions, Wonder. What actions? Imagine living your life and your ex-girl hits you up to hang out. Only excited because, look at you. Fine as shit. He rushing to meet you, and then I clothesline him as he's running out the door to meet you. Wrap the wire around his neck and ask him what his favorite color is while he's slowly losing consciousness. Why are you asking him his favorite color? Small talk. Rude as shit to just choke the man out and not make small talk. I'm a menace, not a monster. He crossed the room and refilled his drink. I stood there watching as he sat there explaining this hypothetical scenario as calm as could be, as if he was explaining taxes to me or something. You texted her on our wedding day, Maverick. Tears pricked my eyes as I stared at him across the room. He took a seat in the window. Stop looking at it that way. The day you were supposed to be focused on marrying me, you sent her a text to let her know that you were getting married. Anytime she calls, you answer, and whenever she texts, you respond. I can't compete with your first love, Maverick. I watched as he continued to rub his hands together. He was anxious and nervous about this conversation. You don't ever have to compete with no bitch in this world when it comes to me. I'm here. I'm yours. What me and Angie had is done. See? Calling her Angie shows me that it's not done. He stared at me before he spoke. That's her fucking name, Stevie. No, her name is Angelica. You call her Angie. How many people call her that, Maverick? I questioned, and he looked away. Exactly. When it comes to her, you are going to always answer a call because you have this sick connection with her. I don't have a connection with her. I haven't had one with her in years, Wonder. I felt like I owed that explanation to her. You are Menace Caselli, the man who does what the fuck he wants and never makes any excuses or explanations for it. And you felt like she was owed one? Yeah. I'm not her, Maverick. The fuck you talking about? He leaned forward, damn near squeezing his hands while he searched my eyes. I turned, not giving him the chance to read me because he could read me well. I'm not the kind of woman that is going to allow you to make decisions that you want. You delete all my numbers out of my phone, but it's all right to still be in contact with her? That shit doesn't fly with me. I think I'm going to stay with Skylar to clear my mind. I really need to think because I can't compete with her. She still has a hold over you all these years later. You not sleeping anywhere but in this bed with me, Wonder. Go and do your little stomps and talking to yourself, but get your ass in this bed next to me so I can lay on you and sleep. I'll fart, I threatened. I'll inhale it. I did my stomps that he knew I was going to do and stomped into the bathroom. He didn't apologize for it and didn't care how I felt about the matter. I wasn't some friend in his home anymore. I was his wife. I had the private islands to prove it. Stevie, you need to show him better than you can tell him.
Good, just delete that number off his phone. If he deleting numbers on your phone, delete his number, delete that damn number on the phone and block it. I understand, yeah, he should have texted her or whatever. He felt like he needs to hold her. I guess give the closure, whatever he needed. But at the end of the day, I understand where she's coming from. Like, come on now. Does she still have a hold on you or what? Because you could have just left that a long time ago, especially if you know you get serious with me. You don't have to keep communicating with her. She's done. She's in the past.
He's used to no one saying no and getting his way. You don't stand up now, then he gonna have you turning tricks with his girls in those upscale homes he owns all over the damn country. Okay, slow down. He's not going to have me turning tricks. Relax. I splashed water on my face, and then I put on some of my favorite pistachio-scented oil that he loved. Removing my hair from my bun, I shook my hair out and quickly changed into a thin t-shirt with no panties on. Go put it on him, girl. I spoke to myself and left the room. He was now in the bed, waiting for me to join him so he could come into his favorite position to sleep. Why you went and put that little shirt on, Wonder? He groaned as he sat up. Then you got your hair down? I spun around so he could see how the length of the shirt stopped a bit before the bottom of my ass, so my cheeks hung out. You like? Thought you were mad at me, baby. He waved for me to come to him, and I walked slowly over toward his side. Not mad, just wanted to talk about it. I kissed his lips and messed with his briefs while releasing his already hardened dick. With his help, I climbed onto the bed and stood over him as he held my legs, rubbing his nose in my pussy. I want to feel you on this dick, Wonder, he said between smells as he pushed me closer to him. I held onto his head as he placed kisses on her while rubbing my ass. Whatever you want, Menace. He pulled his head back. Why the fuck you calling me Menace? I distracted him by lowering myself until I was on his dick, slowly going down as he gripped my hips and bit down on his bottom lip. Like that, baby? Yeah, just like that. You almost had me pissed, Wonder. Don't do that. Nope, I won't do that. I kissed his lips and started to slowly ride him. His hands tightened on my hips, and he increased my speed while I held onto his chest and matched how fast he wanted me to go. He tossed his head back as he moaned. Fuck, you so damn beautiful, Wonder. I moaned, because as much as I was sticking it to the man, and this was all part of my plan, this man had some of the best dick I had ever had. And his was the only one I ever had, so yeah. Right there, fuck. Shit, I'm about to come, he gritted as he held on to me, pulling me down onto him and kissing my lips as I continued to slide up and down until I felt my body weaken and him release inside of me. He kissed me, and I kissed him back. She don't mean shit to me, Stevie. I need you to know that. Yeah. I laid my head on his chest before climbing off him and going to use the bathroom. When I came back, I climbed into bed, and he got into his favorite position as I rubbed his head while staring up at the ceiling until I heard soft snores. Me. Wake up. We have a 5487. Duke. What the fuck you talking about?
29. Menace.
This is gonna be the last chapter for this one, and I think the next one we got like, let me see, 3 more chapters, and I think I can get that up like sometime this week. I think I might do a pre-record it and just put it up there because there's not much to do left.
I told Stevie she wasn't going to leave me, and I meant that shit. She was mad because I reached out to Angelica. We spoke occasionally, and being that her shitty ass husband ain't have no fucking motion like I did, I helped her when she needed it. Jeffy would be pissed if she knew. This shit caught me off guard when she held my phone in her hand, asking me why I was still talking to her. I was used to doing whatever the fuck I wanted without any explanation, because I ain't never had to explain myself to nobody. I was the nigga that people explain shit to, not the other way around. If me and Duke wasn't so locked in, I would have emptied my damn gun in his chest for helping her leave while I was asleep. I should have known when she climbed on top and fucked the shit out of me that she was up to something. Her sneaky, sleepy pussy put my ass out. So when I woke up this morning and she had a Dear John letter on my damn nightstand, I tore this damn room up before calling Duke, who happened to be sleeping in the truck outside of her apartment she shared with Skylar. When Blush and Jeffy came into the room, they looked at me in shock with the way I fucked this room up. When the fuck did you start smoking cigarettes? Cole asked, as he took a seat beside me while I sat in the backyard, puffing on these Newport 100s. I had my leg crossed, cigarette tucked between my fingers, and leaned over like a single mom trying to do her best, but life kept bringing her back down. She got me fucked up, Brewster. She gonna sneak her ass out the house last night. How the fuck she sneak out without you knowing? I turned to look at him, mad that I allowed pussy to put me out like that. Ask Duke's fat ass, you think I should kill him? Corleone had the nerve to laugh at my pain. Ain't you adopted? He continued to laugh. And your wife fucking escaped you. How she got your security wrapped around her finger? I took a long pull of the cigarette and flicked the ashes away before stabbing the shit in my leg. Meds, what the fuck? She don't like that me and Angelica still talk every now and then. I mean, she's your wife, so why the fuck would she like that? I don't know why you keep in touch when Jeffy doesn't deal with her own mother. I should kill Angelica, right? Corleone put his head in his hand. What the fuck? My boo don't like her calling me, so ending her will stop the calls and texts, make my baby happy, and get her back under our roof. Menace, you have gone too damn far this time. Jeffy stomped out with Gray behind her. I lit another cigarette and waited for her to speak. It's always Menace, you have gone too far. Never, you are the best and we love you. You got her arrested and reported her ring stolen, you fucking nut? Jeffy mushed me, and I continued to puff on my cigarette while Corleone was holding his stomach while laughing. Why the fuck are you laughing? She called me crying because she thought she was going to prison. I had to send over your marriage certificate and have Zoe go get her out and let them know it was a misunderstanding. She ran off in the middle of the night with my ring and pussy, Jeffy. You lucky I wasn't able to report my pussy missing, because I would.
He got arrested, damn, Menace. You was a troublemaker, dang. He was really pissed. You had to do it like that, man. You could have went and find her and take her back. You had to get her arrested.
Because I would have. I went to take a pull of my cigarette, and Jeffy snatched it and dramatically stomped it into the ground. You don't even smoke cigarettes. Where did you get them from? Maroon got them for me. She looked over nervously. He told me to go and get him a pack or he was going to fire me. I like my benefits and pay. With the way she spitefully squeezed the toothpaste in the bathroom before she left, she deserves prison. I went to pull another cigarette, and she snatched the box from me. I'm going to see her. This is not how you treat your wife, Menace. Corleone hadn't said a word because he was too busy laughing, which pissed Jeffy off. Bring her ass home. Corleone, I'm so happy that this is funny to you, because when you try to come over later, I won't be answering the phone. And I am calling Skylar as soon as I leave, so she won't be answering either. Matter of fact, you can lay with your best friend since you both think this is funny. I don't think shit is funny. I know what I did, and I stand on that shit. Jeffy stomped in place, something women seem to have in common, and took off back into the house. Corleone shoved me. Baby, I don't think she be doing this funny. He called behind Jeffy, and she spun on her heels, sticking her middle finger at him. Got me in fucking trouble with both of them. Why the fuck would you report a ring stolen? Shit, I thought I lost it. It's $2 million, so I needed to make sure that it wasn't missing. Corleone busted out laughing as I picked up the marker beside me and started to smoke it since Jeffy wanted to snatch my carton of cigarettes. Meds, you really need to apologize to her. You do know that what you did made it 10 times worse. We'll fix that shit when she bring her ass home. Corleone looked at me. She not going to come home after you got him locked up, Nutty. How you going to be mad because she left you when you had her fucked up, Ed? I took a pull of my marker, blowing imaginary smoke. She went through my phone and got mad because I told her the truth. The truth that you don't want to let Angelica go because you feel like you'll be closing that chapter for real. Brewster, why you in my house? He sighed. Is Angelica worth you losing Stevie? She fucking left in the middle of the night. You used to have to kick him out, and she willingly left. And this is her home. I don't even talk to her like that. Problem is that you are talking to her, and she knows the significance of the relationship that you had. You walk around threatening everybody that even looks Stevie's way, but can't check your own shit. The fuck you want me to do? Just end the conversation with her and act like we strangers? Coursed it up. Yes, nigga. You don't need closure to a situation that has run its course. You are grown now and have lived without her longer than you were so-called with her. There doesn't need to be a conversation to end shit out.
Exactly. It don't need to be a conversation. Come on, Menace. What the hell? See, so men love to have their cake eat it too. Oh my God, especially dusty men like that. Just they do not get it. They just don't get it. How you threaten her about the guys that maybe interested her or leave or look her way, but you can't seem to fathom why you don't want to end the freaking text conversation with Angelica. Leave her alone. Like, if you've never been with her for so long, it's easy to cut it off. Like, cut it off.
Shit either. Delete a number and move the fuck on. So, you don't be fucking Killian anymore. He shook his head. Nah. The minute I made my intentions clear with Skylar and Jeffy, I ended it with her. I deleted her number and haven't reached out because I want those two. I want a family with them. It's easy when you know what you have and the future you could have. Straighten up and fucking end communication with her. Or you're gonna not only lose your wife, but your fucking best friend too. If she could cut her mother off and choose you, you can do the same. He walked back toward the house, leaving me and my marker. I see why they gave your ass up for adoption, bitch. That's why your weird ass didn't have friends back in school. I ain't want them bitches. Might be true. You still fucking weird, Meds. He chuckled and then stopped and looked down at his phone. The Amonte's got him, Meds. How the fuck? Come on now. He's a fucking gambler. Can't stay away too long. Finish smoking your marker. Shake this shit off, and we meeting them. I ain't shaking my wife robbing me blind and then leaving me. Now how the fuck she robbed you blind? I smirked. Wanda robbed me when she took my pussy away from me and didn't tell me. I had business to handle, and then I was going to pull up on wifey. My driver pulled up at a warehouse in College Point near the water. I looked over at Cora, and then security pulling up behind us. Since the head of security wanted to let a little 5'5" strawberry blonde curly 4-hour angel finesse him into sneaking her out the house, I had to handle business without him. Before we go in there, you good with letting them handle business? Or do you want them for you? I don't give a fuck who does it, as long as somebody does the shit. I looked at my watch and then back at my best friend. He held his hand out and dabbed me as we both climbed out the truck and headed inside. Deuce Amante put me in the mindset of a younger DMX. Every time I saw the nigga, I wanted to scream, "Where them dogs at?" With the way Zoya and Cora were spinning the trial for his brother, the families were cool. Not cool enough for them to step in as the third family of Staten Island. I didn't give a damn if they were from Staten Island either. There was never any competition at the top, just collaborations. We were all familiar with each other and respected each other. When needed, any one of us could call in a favor, and we would all be there or extend our resources. My resources happened to be that I had a federal judge and a top criminal defense lawyer as assistants. Dane, Deuce's brother, got himself in a pickle, and he needed to spend some shit in his way, or else he was looking at them throwing his life at the wall. Dane was the head of the Almonte cartel after his father stepped down. Deuce was the enforcer and made sure shit was handled, which was why he had Ray's ass in his warehouse. Dice was the youngest of the brothers. He was the lieutenant overseeing everything that the Almontes had their hands in. What up, Menace? He nodded because everyone knew I didn't do all that touchy bullshit. He then looked over at Core, extended his hand and dapped him up. What up, Core? I fired your shorty. She didn't need to be working there anyway. Core extended his hand again. Appreciate you. She hard-headed, and I knew she wasn't going to do that shit on her own. All love. I ain't like how they were looking at her anyway. Congratulations is in order for you finding forever. Why everybody know my business? He laughed. My pop's close with Rob Meek. Mad I ain't get invited. You can attend her funeral. What the fuck? Deuce looked at me and then looked to Corleone for clarification that I wasn't going to give. If Stevie didn't bring her ass home, then we were both going to see my parents in real time. Don't ask. I heard you picked up a stray. He nodded for us to follow him further into the warehouse. It was filled with cars and car parts. When we entered the bigger area, I smiled when I saw Ray hung up by his arms by the car lift. His head was hung, and if he wasn't so damn fucking rotten, you would have compared him to Jesus on the cross. Ray, that's you, Ray Ray? He weakly lifted his head, and that's when I saw how bad they had this man fucked up in here. When his brain registered that it was me, he tried to run, which was dumb because he was up in the air and his feet were hanging. Mans, come on, man. I had nothing to do with this. I chuckled. Why the first thing out your mouth had to be a lie? Leaning on the post next to him, I smiled up at him. Hey, father-in-law, you good? Deuce looked at Corleone. This is his father-in-law? Yeah, complicated shit. Corleone shook his head as he watched me talking to good old Ray. Me and Stevie Wayne got married. She real happy, Ray. My baby a billionaire. You know that? Nah, don't answer that, because if you answered wrong, I might snap your neck. He groaned as he tried to focus and make eye contact with me. Is she safe? You give a fuck about her now, but never even cared when you killed two of my people, one of which was lucky I didn't kill her myself. I needed to save her, man. I looked at the wrench next to him and picked it up. Picking it up, I smashed him in the face with it a few times. You ain't never give a fuck about her. If you cared about her, you would have went to that farm and did what you had to do, and probably would have been able to return to life, because I know how much she wanted to keep you alive. See, you owe me money, and then you owe the Amante's money. And in case you didn't see why the fuck Dane is on trial, you was better off staying on my farm. I can pay it back. I can pay both of you back. He made dumbass promises that he would never keep, kind of like he did with his own daughter. Always made her promises and never came through on them. His ass was just as vocal as Priscilla when I told Stevie that she was going to marry me. He was shoving his daughter with a stranger to fix his bullshit. What you want to do, Menace? I can respectfully step back and let you handle him. Deuce called from across the room while he smoked a Black and Mild. How much he owe you? $1.5 million? Corleone choked. Clearly you ain't good at this shit, nigga. Fuck you run up a tab you know you couldn't pay. I messed with my beard, which means that is why you were stealing from me, robbing the Casellis to pay the Amantes. Damn, my guy. We can fix this. I can work for both of you. Nigga, why the fuck would I want a thief with a gambling addiction to work for my family? Mans, watch out. I moved back and he threw the football full force at this nigga's face, which explained why he was so fucked up. Everybody knew Deuce Amante was on his way to the NFL. The New Jersey Blackjackets wanted him straight out of college, but an injury caused him to give up his football dreams. Glad you still working that arm out. I snickered. He chuckled. Your call. Let me know. I looked at Ray, who looked like he would rather me take him than to stay here. He's family, Deuce. Ray took a huge sigh of relief. I'll let you handle him, so I don't have my wife's father on my hands, you know? We're newlyweds. We don't need that on us. Corleone laughed while shaking his head. I'm gonna take care of it. Consider it my wedding gift. Appreciate that. Let us know when it's done. I looked down at my phone, not recognizing the number. Yo, I nodded toward Deuce and headed back out. When an automated woman's voice came through the line, I looked at my phone. I thought Jeffy said she was sending Zoe to get my baby. Gone. I heard the name when the voice said it was calling. Now I was intrigued because other than Monaco, I didn't speak to that nigga. Can't front like he didn't make me laugh and I slightly enjoyed his company the time he was around. We bonded on our dislike of Morgan, and he had to pretend to be a security. Yo, Mads. Gone. The fuck I owe this prison-ass call. Thought you were my fucking wifey for a minute. I got back into my truck and waited for talkative-ass Corleone to finish his conversation. I guess that was why our situation worked. He talked too much, and I didn't speak enough. When the fuck you got a wife? Guess you ain't been speaking to Miss Lawyer, huh? He chuckled. I'm gonna keep my thing brief with you. It was his Jamaican accent that shocked me. You went to prison and now you busting out fake accents? Goon laughed. I'm Jamaican, nigga. Moms was born and raised there. This about Zoya? You already know. I heard you had plans on eating that nigga's food. I have a big appetite, so let me have that meal. Why you worried about another man's meal, G? It was the laugh that told me he wanted Siegel more than I did. Me and Miss Lawyer got some history. She saved my life, and the reason I'm not sitting up in here for a long-ass time. I've heard. And I ain't asking for your permission for shit now, because I'm still sitting up. And I ain't never gonna ask her to hold me down. When my time is up, I'm coming for Miss Lawyer. Oh, yeah? On your chocolate nieces and nephews, mans. You already know how I'm coming and how I'm built when it comes to loyalty. Your baby sister's heart is safe in my hands. I'm telling you now that there will be a time in the future for us to sit down and count some grapes and talk about it. How in the fuck did he know I counted my grapes before I ate them? And about the food. Oh yeah, let the food cool off some and then I'll devour that shit when I'm home. He replied, as I leaned back and Corleone got back into the truck. I'll let it cool and wait for you to come home. We're gonna have that talk though. You want Zoya? Come correct. That nigga and all the others in the past never came correct. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Keep your head up, G. Fuck you mean? I'm always gonna keep this shit up. Got my god baby to get home to. We'll talk, Menace, over some grapes and Hennessy. Scotch. Even better. 1. I ended the call and looked over at Corleone. Good? Yeah. I nodded.
30.
Okay, so I'm gonna end it right there. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the next set of episodes. Next time I do this, it will be the last week, which will be week 8, and that will be finished the story, and then we have another book. So hope y'all enjoying it. Please like the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts about the book so far. It's really good. It's getting close to the end, down to the wire. It's 3 more chapters. Let me see, 31, 30, 31 below. Yeah, 3 more chapters, and that's it. We done. So I will probably record that soon and upload it, so we're gonna have it done out the way so we can save room some for other stuff to do. All right, appreciate y'all. Enjoy y'all. Peace out.